Hello, everyone. Today is Saturday, September 24th, 2022 at 1:54 a.m. in the morning. So I guess I'm going to try to test something out with this phone. With the previous phone, if I did a video in the complete dark, it would prolong my videos. Either that or if I did it around the same time, like 30 minutes, um I can stretch my videos out longer, either that or take up less phone data. But this phone doesn't seem to do that. But this is the first time of me being um wait, no. I think I did, but it was daylight already though. It was like I was in the dark, like when I was at the other hotel. Um I was at the other hotel in the night of Labor Day, and then I checked out the next morning. So the next, either that evening or the next morning, it was still daylight. So the phone, the video still um doing videos in the dark. Well, I guess they had a little bit of light because of it being daytime, but the videos still took up like if I did like a 30-minute video, it still took up 4 gigabytes. But with the previous phone, I had that phone from um I think it was May 3rd, 2020, all the way in through August. Wait, no, was it 2021? No, it was May 3rd, 2021. Yeah, it was 2021 through August um of 25th. Yeah. Then a few days with no phone, and then on the 30th, I guess I must look at that as a belated birthday gift. This phone as a belated birthday gift, I guess. And thanks for all you who helped. And so I'm in a different hotel this time, and excuse me. And so I like I mean, I don't know if after 30 minutes on this phone, if this is the type of phone, if I'm in this level of darkness, if it's still gonna take up 4 gigabytes, or if it's gonna reduce it to like 2 gigabytes or only 1 gigabyte because of the level of darkness that I'm in. I'm just testing this out for the first time, like it being like in the middle of the night and so dark. But on the other phone, I would do, even at the home with sleep spot where I would be, where I've been sleeping at. Um, I would end up, doing a video, and sometimes I can go like almost an hour, and it would take up 4 gigabytes. But on this phone, no matter what, it'd be like approximately 30 minutes, and then it would split off into a new video, and it would take up the whole 4 gigabytes or something. But there have been times when I can do like um when I would be like in a motel room or a hotel room, or in if I was sleeping by the bay, I can do on the other phone. I could do like up to 2 hours, and that would take up 4 gigabytes. And it would be like dark, like 3 o'clock in the morning. But on this phone, no matter what the darkness or the light, the most I could do is 30 minutes, and it would take up the whole, 4 gigabytes. So But someone helped me yesterday morning with the hotel room, and I was gonna hold the money until next week and hold off until next week. But I was like, no, I wanted to wait until, my I've been homeless on the streets, so I'm a tell TMI since you bastards got me on the streets. So I said, well, if my menstrual, you know, period started, then I would go and I would save the money for when it started, and then I would go. But hey, lo and behold, it freaking started. Um, I don't know if it was yesterday, because yesterday morning it was extremely light blood, but then everything was normal, and then later on it finally came after I was already in the room. So y'all didn't see me yesterday because yesterday, like in the afternoon or nothing, because you know I booked the hotel room, and um I booked the hotel room and excuse me. I booked the hotel room, and and then I was so freaking exhausted and tired. I was like, for extreme, like, remember yesterday morning when I was walking towards the library and I was trying to tell y'all that I felt like so fatigued and everything, and it felt like my heart was, I had um like heavy pressure on my heart and everything, and feeling so fatigued and everything. So like I was so physically like worn down and beat down and exhausted, and so hold on. So I tried to choose, a hotel room that would be, you know no under $100 and no deposit. And so I also just wanted to take a break from the hectic hell with taking the dog on buses. So I took an Uber over here, and I went to eat lunch, and then they had extra dinner plates that you can take to go, and they were $5. Like you can take the plate for dinner for $5. In addition to the lunch that you paid for, like for extra $5, you can take the dinner. And so I got the lunch special plus dessert. Like the lunch special plus dessert plus the dinner to take home, all that was under $20. Just under $20. So I came, I checked into the hotel and took a shower. And after eating lunch, and so then I what happened was it was like 4 o'clock by the time I got settled in, took a shower and everything. Then I dozed off and fell asleep. Then it was after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then woke up around just like 7:04 p.m. and had to go to the bathroom. And then I think I may have. Then I went back to sleep, and then it was around probably 10 or 11 something. I think I got back up and had to use the bathroom, and then went back to sleep. And then I think it was after 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to go potty again, and then that's I found out for sure that it's that time of the month. But I wouldn't be mentioning this if I didn't have to be homeless. homeless on the street homeless, but so so then I guess after one, I don't remember what time it was, sometime after 1 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't been able to go back to sleep since then, but I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. But I just been sleeping like mainly from 4 o'clock until close to 1 o'clock. And so I guess that's my body catching up from all that past time of lack of sleep and the forced sleep deprivation and stuff like that. And I'm glad that it's been quiet. Um, I'm glad that it's been quiet, you know, all throughout the night. So, my body and my mind still feel like I need more sleep. My hips kind of hurt a little bit, and so my body, yeah, really needs to recuperate. And I felt like I was long overdue for need for a break off the streets. Because it being the weekend and more people and had to deal with the stronger likelihood of more harassment and abuse from people and stuff like that. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm thankful and glad that not everybody is out to hate my guts and try to punish me. You know, I'm glad and surprised that they are a few little people that's still nice and respectful, but at the same time, um, you know, they sometimes don't stay nice for long, and then they secretly betray you and turn against you. Like they secretly betray you and turn against you. Like a vicious dog or something, like a vicious Rottweiler or a pit bull or something. you know. So I would hate to have to take the doggone bus on the way back, like coming from the hotel. I dread doing it, but you know, got no choice. And so, but now I see why they have certain hotels cost more than others. But damn, $50 more though? Like if you go to one hotel and it might be the same chain and the same big corporation or chain or something. Say for example, it might be Choice Hotels or something. You go to Quality Inn and they got more amenities than Clarion or something like that. And um and then you figure out, well, that might be why. I mean, like, but just because you can eat breakfast, it gotta cost $50 more. Damn. Just because there's breakfast, but like breakfast normally ain't that. It wouldn't cost $50, especially for a continental breakfast. But I was told yesterday that the washers and dryers have been down at this hotel for a while. So if I wanted to, I couldn't get laundry done anyway. So um, they had this. motel called Mayfair Motel. I never stayed there, but the cab drivers and stuff were trying to tell. I mean, I think the man that trained me was trying to tell me that it's a decent motel, but I'm still scared to go stay there. But the homeless people were saying that it's $80 a night to stay there, and I'm like, well, what? $80 to stay at a well, I mean, I was always scared to stay there, but $80 to stay in a motel? Wow. I would expect something like that at the Super Six, in which they wrongfully banned me for the rest of my life behind Star Bricker, what she did. I mean, for me to report a non resident in a red truck with one brake light, or funny brake lights, funny tail lights, I think it was, who nearly ran over me with his truck, and I put him on film. And Starbricker had called up the place, and the guy wasn't even a resident. And then Miss Mary at the motel, she's a Masonic narcissistic perp. Um, she covered up for him and lied and said, well, all numbers she conveniently used 233, Masonic 33. And come to find out, it was other people staying in that room at the time, and she lied and covered up for him and defended him. So they try to make it like it was illegal and I was breaking the law, you know, for, busting them pretty much. And so then I had it all on film with me confronting them about their crookedness and shadiness and everything. And that's the motel where one day I found a whole bunch of blood, like a perfect pail of blood. Like, how and why would they put me in a, it's like, for me to ask for help with, like, it was cold and they gave me a room with air conditioner that didn't work. And so then, like 2 nights before that, I stayed in room 217 over there. And then the Middle East, the Indian guy, I think he was Indian from India. And he was kind of Americanized and young. And so then, um, about a month ago, I saw him and his family, and they told me hi. They said hi and tried to speak to me like nothing, like it was nothing, like nothing really happened. So, so then it's like he, as supposed punishment for me to ask for. I said that the motel room, like it was very cold, like under 40 degrees, and the air conditioner. And somebody helped me. I think, no, I don't remember if it was, no. You know what? It was leftover paycheck from my job when I was working on PSC campus through ABM. You know, and so he had told me, you know, he sent me back in room 217. I think he put me in room 223 or 224, maybe 229, one of those rooms. And so yeah, it was kind of yeah, the air conditioner, I mean the heater wasn't working. Yeah, cuz I was trying to get warm. And so then he put me back into room 217, and then he forced me to sleep in that same bed with all the blood on it. When he just removed the sheets, but wouldn't remove the blanket. I mean, wouldn't remove the comforter or anything. And I felt like so grossed out. And it's like, what the hell kind of satanic rituals they were doing? Or anybody. It's like, how, I think that was probably the plan all along. So I was it like that would happen in 2019, and it's like that was the only motel or whatever that I knew of at the time, because I was still somewhat new to Pensacola. So I mean, I should have never gone back there again. But If I needed a motel or something, I mistakenly thought that was the cheapest. But I had no idea until Janet told me about Hospitality Inn, and they perped really bad, really heavy over at Hospitality Inn extended stay hotel, and I didn't know that was like $39 a night, $39.03, and you can't get any cheaper than that. So I was already staying there, you know, and $39 a night in a self-service hotel. That doesn't sound like, oh, I was putting her up in these expensive, nice, fancy hotels, and I was dining her and this and that. Like 39.09. I mean $39.03 for a night. Don't freaking over exaggerate and lie and say you were putting me up in nice hotels when I was already in there, and the most you can help. I mean, I'm talking about what Darius when he over exaggerated and lied on me in that video. You know, the most he might have paid like, I don't remember exactly, but like enough for like maybe 2 or 3 nights. You know, but for him to try to make it like as if he tried to over exaggerate, and he didn't mention names of hotels, but he tried to make it like as if he was putting me up in Marriott's and Hilton's and stuff. Like, come on, dude. And I never stayed in those kinds of hotels, being homeless. Even with money that I worked for, I stayed in a freaking cheap motel. It's all I could afford. But that when they turn against me and betray me and start to act like a perp and stuff, they try to falsely make like I dogged them out. And it's like Darius, me and him, I thought we were close friends, even though we never met in person. And so he only, he donated a few times. But it's not like he spent lavish on me or anything like that. Like he tried to falsely over exaggerate and stuff. And I never saw that side of him to do that. So he would he supposedly get a freaking SSI check or whatever, but he was like living with his mom and stuff like that. But it's like, if you think you got so much power and high authority and everything, why are you still living with your mom and stuff? You know, if you think you're such a powerful man and everything, I mean, and somebody called him out on having a God complex, being a freaking religious narcissist. So, you know, they got, as I said, the same people who are playing both sides of the fence, acting both like a TI and a perp. You know, it's like they're the reasons why I have a false bad reputation in the TI community. And especially I went up against the big ones, like the popular fakes and stuff like that. Like they had a guy who devoured and attacked me like a pit bull online, cyber attacked me like for because I spoke out against people like Midge Mathis and Susan Fortunato Olsen and all them at Targeted Justice. And a lot of people speak out against them, but I don't have really any experience with Karen Melton Stewart and some of the others, but some people say that Karen Melton Stewart, was racist and the perp, and I mean, a fake TI perp and a racist and stuff. I mean, I had my own experiences, with certain people, and I never had any experience with Catherine Horton, but some people were saying that Catherine Horton was a fake TI perp and gaslighting and playing all kinds of games. Some people say Meeks B is a perp and stuff like that. So, well, Meeks B was nice to me, but the same person who tried to say that Meeks B was a perp, Crystal Newman, Then she turned around and said, I mean, she tried to say that Meeks B was a perp, but then Crystal turned around and she was desperate to want to sell out and become a perp. Just to, she said that she, was trying to avoid being blood sacrificed or murdered out of here, because she said she was MK Ultra and her time was up, and they were about to sacrifice and kill her. So she sold out just to freaking save the day. And now Crystal had been slandering me as a freaking perp, and which she was the one who was perping me on the phone. So I mean, just can't. I mean, it's like everybody's freaking turning. And so what's the confusion is people who were formerly targeted and secretly behind closed doors make that deal and become a perp, and then they will lie and say that they're still targeted. And why you're not doing videos no more, why you're not discussing targeting anymore. You want to change the narrative and then try to make it like, oh, I'm God's chosen and we're empowered individuals, and we should stop being negative and stop talking about the targeting, stop giving the devil credit and stuff like that. And so then you don't see them, they take all their videos down, but or they'll take footage of their gang stalking, they'll take it down, and or they'll leave up old channels and maybe start a new channel and just sit behind a desk and mock the ones still suffering and call us crazy and schizophrenic, mentally ill, saying we need medication, we sick, crazy, and need help. Or but then at the same time it's like they playing, as I said, they're playing both sides. It's like, and then how you gonna say you're Christian and spiritual and you're into the Bible, but at the same time, like just a week ago before you sold out, you act like you're talking about speaking against the hive mind, or speaking against mind control, or speaking against psychiatry and the mental health thing, and then you then later on it's like, some people say that when you sell out or something, or that some people say that when you sell out you end up, like they put a I don't know about all the details, but some people say you get like a brain implant or a microchip or something, microchip or brain implant, microchip or something that just totally changes you. So they had, like, when Alex ran me out of Pensacola, um, and I was at the Greyhound station, I met a black female who I showed her videos of Alex harassment from the day before, like YouTube videos. And so she claimed she had like a microchip in her brain, but she claimed that she was being targeted and getting V2K. She turned out to be a fake TI perp. And then Alex walked right up to her. And that's when he was harassing and following me. Like, how the hell you ran me out of Pensacola and stalked and followed me? You follow me on the Greyhound bus while I'm trying to escape and get away. And then at the same time, it's like they say that when you cross state lines to gang stalk people, that's a fucking felony. And Alex tried to set me up to get wrongfully banned. He was harassing me and stalking me, and he tried to set me up to get wrongfully banned from the Greyhound, the Greyhound bus, so he can have me trapped. And so that I got treated way worse in Mobile and dealt with way more abuse in Mobile, Alabama than here in Pensacola. It seems like everywhere is worse than here in Pensacola, but Pensacola is pretty bad too with the gang stalking. And don't freaking go to Miami with the freaking gangs dealing with the gang stalking. But New Orleans, my hometown, is even worse than here in Pensacola with the gang stalking. So but here it can be pretty bad on ramp up or something. But my hometown, New Orleans, is worse. Mobile, Alabama is worse. And Mobile, Alabama had way more black people gang stalking me. And here in Pensacola, I got more white people, way more white people gang stalking me. But in New Orleans, it'd be any and every damn body, you know. So there was a point in time for a brief moment in 2019 they had a whole bunch of Middle Eastern people gang stalking me for I don't know why. But then they had this Asian lady that was gang stalking and following. I bet you she was freaking Korean. It was gang stalking and following me around in the Cadillac SRX. It was like the I guess 2010 model or something, and I think it was a red Cadillac SRX. But you know, wow, I didn't even think I would have so much to say in 30 minutes. So I'm looking at the screen. It's been over 30 minutes. So I'm in a complete dark, and now it's been 31 minutes. So I don't know if I upload the video, is it going to be like 4 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, 656 megabytes, or what is going to be? So what time is it? 2:26 a.m. in the morning. But I'm still sleepy, still tired. And of course abusers, when people do abusive, fucked up, cruel, twisted stuff towards you, they want to try to bully you to keep their name out your mouth. While they go behind your back and slander and lie on you, talk about you, they stalk you for years, but you're forbidden or not allowed to mention their names, about the things that they've done and stuff. And it's like, well, if you're supposed to be targeted and I'm targeted, why do you try to silence me or shut me down or try to make me feel ashamed or you yell at me? But you mentioned about targeting. Oh, they had this perp that did this to me. But then if I mention or if I show you physical pictures or evidence, that you try to shut me down and nip it in the bud real quick, like, and that's how a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend would act. Oh, you don't want to hear me showing you screenshots of Star Bricker's abuse or J Demon Rotten Shit's abuse or Kimberly Harper's abuse. You don't want to see screenshots of that, or you don't want me showing you a video of a one headlight vehicle following the shit out of me or something like that. You don't you don't want me to show you a video of a car trying to run over me recklessly trying to run over me on purpose. You don't want to see a video of me being, cheated out of my grits or something. But then, I'm just left to be all alone. But then you can be like, well, hey, Candy, look at this picture of this perp in this Freemason perp. He got a Freemason emblem on the back of his car and one tail light. Well, you getting the targeting too, but why are you acting like a perp towards me? So I heard that when they try to get you to sell out, I heard that if you a TI turned perp, I heard that some people are being both targeted and perped. I mean, both being targeted and acting like a perp, and that's what you call like a TI turned perp, or a fake TI perp or something like. I'm calling it fake TI perp, and so they when they offer the deal, they lie to you and say they lie to you and say that all your targeting will end once you take this deal. They've offered me those deals, and I heard before they started offering me the deals that they say that, well, that if you take those deals, they'll try to get you to sell out. They want you to try to sell your soul and be like them. And if you take those deals, then your targeting, they lie to you. Your targeting don't end. And they say that to me, and then they turn around and start to act like a perp and gaslight and act weird and stuff. and start secretly pulling away from me, like the Tory Bird song, "Fake Ti Perp," fake narcissistic control freak, fake hypocrite Ti Perp, Tory Bird song. He would like to call himself John Black, and you know he would claim to be targeted but had no footage. But it's like the certain things he was telling me, I guess he knew that he took advantage of me being new to the TI community and waking up and everything. So I wasn't able to connect dots about him until later. He would always be like, ignore, like wanting to yell at me and tell me to ignore the gang stalking and stuff. And he was like very disrespectful, like um disrespectful over the phone and stuff like that. And he tried to make like he was, and they try to act like they identify with you, like they'll lie and say that they're homeless, or but it's like how all of a sudden you get like a red truck. If you know that they use gang stalking for red, I mean they use red for gang stalking, but you know why you got a red truck, you know. But me, that sleeping bag, um, I guess I might have to wait until next month to get another sleeping bag that's not red. I did a blog post recently talking about targeted individuals wearing red, but I mean, I said I seen people who claim to be targeted individuals and they got into a car accident and the car was red. At least two TIs I saw that, so, but I'm not one of those people who's TI turned perp, and I'm not a fake TI perp. I'm still going through it, and the telephone scatologia perp is still trying to access me, and I've tried to block every avenue that I could, um. But I think he got time to freaking stalk all my doggone videos, you know. So I'm trying what I could to stay on a righteous path. Well, it's been 37 and a half minutes, and I still never got the notification that a new video started, but maybe my eyes must have been looking away if another video did start. So, dang. I started a few days in advance taking the bentonite clay and my supplement, the my green grass, I mean amazing grass supplement, and it's in the middle of the night and my stomach is mildly cramping. So yeah, I mean Tory Bird song, he went and got himself a freaking, I mean, see that sleeping bag, it was given to me. And I don't have any I have to hold out on a sleeping bag until until I got the money or the free opportunity to go and get another sleeping bag. But yeah, and that's a 50-degree sleeping bag. So it's about time that I go try to get me a colder, a lower degree sleeping bag, like a 30-degree sleeping bag. So I need to get the convenience and the opportunity and enough money to go get another sleeping bag. Um, so, but the Tory Bird song guy, he told me he went to get a red truck, and after he told me about the red truck he got, that's when he started to act like a perp and acting like he didn't want to hear what I had to say. He was the first person to try to tell me I should ignore my targeting, that I should get rid of my storage unit, and tell me, oh, you're wasting money on a storage unit. And then he started to get very controlling. And but he trying to make like they were giving him hell with the food stamps and try to say, well, they treat you like he said, they treat you like you don't have a right to eat, Maya. Like he said, they treat you like you don't have a right to eat. So he was saying that it seemed like he wanted to try to dictate and trying to control or police how I deal with my targeting. They will set themselves up to try to control and police how they think you should deal with your targeting, while they turn around and act like a perp at the same time. Because no real targeted individual, like he tried to make it like as if Starbreaker, like he was trying to make it like I deserve to get my account swiped away, taken away from me. That Starbreaker had a right to take my account away from me. Um, and then he bragged and laughed in my face, and so then I blocked this number, and then he tried to call the next day like as if nothing happened. Like, motherfucker, you know what you did. And then he falsely accused me of wanting to be homeless and stuff. And then he tried to say, well, why don't you go live in a halfway house? And I said, well, I said that I would have felt like embarrassed if I hadn't come out of jail, so why live there? And so then he's like, oh, good grief, have some humility. But I thought halfway house, they only have some for men, not for women. And it's like, what you mean have some for humility when you act like you think you're God? You know? So, I mean, I didn't just come out of jail. So I'm saying I thought that halfway house was only for people in jail who came out of jail. And he falsely took it as, oh, she act like she thinks she's too good to go and stay in the halfway house. He's like, well, it's embarrassing enough that you're on the streets and stuff. I'm like, well, if I'm living in a halfway house, I didn't want to be known for somebody, and then they will make up more false rumors and smear campaigns. If I'm living in a halfway house, they might falsely accuse me more of having. They might be like, "Oh, this is proof that Candy's a criminal." So that's what I was thinking. If they would have falsely assumed that I was a criminal or something. So, bad enough they falsely accused me of being a doggone criminal. I just didn't want things to be worse, but they not, and then I heard that Pensacola doesn't really have halfway houses. Anyway, so you know, there are barely any shelters, and I'm not going back to Heavenly Blessings. It's not safe over there, and so I like in other cities and states. I used to love going to the flea markets. See, when I was younger, and in foster care, the foster family, they made everything boring. They made road trips boring. They made everything boring. So I thought that going to the flea markets was boring. But no, on my own, I come to find out to love flea markets. But I never been to that fake ass T Street flea market because it's connected with and associated with Heavenly Blessings. And on Cervantes Street, I do not, or Cervantes in Spanish, I do not go to the fake Heavenly Blessing. I don't go to their thrift store, the flea market, the shelter. I stay away from everything associated with Heavenly Blessings, and everything about that need to be shut down. And that's the only freaking flea market in the doggone city, But in Greenville, South Carolina, I used to love their flea markets. But the one in Algiers, part of New Orleans, it sucked. It seemed like it was like as if, you know, the Hispanics set it up only for their people, and we blacks weren't, or we Americans weren't really accepted, you know, and there was hardly anybody there. Nobody really wants to go, but um, but in Greenville, South Carolina, like those were the best flea markets I've been to. Well, not in Greenville, but they have one in close to Greenville. I forgot. Anderson, I think it was somewhere close to there, and I really loved it. But I love stuff like flea markets and um farmers markets and stuff like that. Thrift stores, they're all right, excuse me. But so yeah, I ain't been shopping at no flea market, no flea market, you know. And it's been a long time since I got to go to the farmers market. And I've been wanting to go too. I've been wanting to go to the doggone farmers market. Been missing it. I missed the farmers market. That was my thing to do on Saturdays. Sometimes on other, like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday or something, go to a farmers market. I love farmers markets. So you know, it looks like they pushed gallery night to um the last Friday in October this time. It's usually the third Friday, but but they pushed it to October 27th. So before I go, um, I wanted to say that um before I go, oh man, it slipped my mind. My mind went blank. Oh, now I want to say that before I go, see, it's the end of September, and I was hoping to have some kind of housing or something by October, by the beginning of October. No housing. So, um, well, I'm hoping to have some place to be by November because, the idea with dealing with winter and stuff and it being cold and stuff. But I heard that this coming Monday they're supposed to have a hurricane to hit Florida, but that might have been why I was feeling all that wind. But I don't know if it's gonna hit. I don't think so, but I don't know if it's gonna hit Pensacola. But they said that Governor Ron DeSantis has declared emergency, a state of emergency for Florida. So so if we gotta be affected by a hurricane, I'm gonna be trying to ask for more help for a hotel room to stay safe. If they have a hurricane that's supposed to come. So I'm about to go for now. It's 2:42 a.m. I'll see y'all later. Love y'all.